Good afternoon, Sandburgers. This is Miss Bailey here at Sandburg, reaching out to you to give you a little overview of what's been going on inside. I know I've communicated with you via email, but I had told you that we were going to give a sneak peek of inside. Before we go inside, though, I had also mentioned to you that we had a couple procedures done to the outside of the building. You can see behind me, the brick is looking really nice and new. They did that procedure called tuck pointing. And also out front, we have all new landscaping. And so I wanted to highlight it when you come on by, take a peek. It's looking pretty good out here. So we're gonna head on inside and I'm gonna review a couple different things that are taking place on the inside of the building. But first, as we go in, I wanna point out to you that one of our safety procedures is that we're making sure that we have signage throughout the building, and especially when you're entering the building, to remind you that you need mask coverings. And there's a COVID symptom list so that you can review those to make sure that you are healthy and safe walking into the building. Right now I have my mask off because I'm outside, but I'm gonna head in here. So I'm gonna put my mask on and we're gonna ask that all of our little Sandburgers and big Sandburgers be sure to put your mask on when you enter too. So let's head on inside. So when you enter the building, you're also going to see that we have some floor markings, but I'll show you those in a minute because I think you're going to want to see a couple friends. Come on into the office. We have Mrs. Cushman and Mrs. Boone are working hard here, getting ready for the kids to come back to school.
Some safety precautions that you have here in the office, some new ones.
Part. The way we measured, which is each of these squares is 1 foot. So every 7th square, to ensure social distancing, there's an X every 7 squares. And then you'll also notice that there are arrows marking keeping to the left and keeping to the right of the hallway. You'll also notice that the X's from that side to this side are 6 feet apart so that we're ensuring when you walk down the hallway that you're safely distanced away from somebody that you're passing as well.
Okay.
We're gonna head on down here. You'll notice in the hallway, I pointed out to you walking in that we have signage on the outside of the building. We have it around on the walls of the building too, washing your hands frequently, not gathering where there's 50 or more than 50 people. The symptoms that we're looking for, if we want to make sure that we're not feeling ill while we're at school. A reminder to be socially distanced 6 feet apart, hence the markings on the floor. This one just kind of reviews all of them and wearing a mask. And here's one by itself wearing a mask. We're going to head into a classroom, and I want you to notice when we go in, while the desks are 6 feet apart, this is Mrs. Newhouse's room, and she's like already, she could start school right now if you wanted to come right now, that is. But her room looks very cheerful, so we still have all those great environmental aesthetics so that you can feel comfortable. But you'll notice that the desks are 6 feet apart so that we can ensure that you are safe while in the building, or in the classroom, sorry. Also, when you enter the building, or the classroom, I'm sorry, you'll see that we've got hand sanitizers at the entrance of each classroom so that you can use them entering the classroom or exiting the classroom. And then behind me, you'll see the desks are all 6 feet apart. On the desks are individualized wrapped manipulatives so that we can ensure that each student has their own manipulative so that they're not sharing. And then those could be say, I've had some questions about small group instruction, and that is a goal for, of course, all our teachers. They know that we have to differentiate, and that means working with kids in smaller groupings. Mrs. Newhouse has cleverly created a little teaching space for that because she's got this kiddo that's going to be important, and every classroom has some vinyl gloves in case we need something for that, and then everybody's been equipped with some towels that will be used each week, picked up, washed, and brought back to us so that we can ensure that our Our rags that we're using to keep desks clean are being cleaned weekly. We explicitly instruct students about pointed out that we need to make sure that we're ensuring that kids know how to wash their hands properly and frequently, and that so how do we ensure that we don't have too many kids in the bathroom? And so we came up with a plan for that. To ensure that they are 6 feet apart, we are basically saying only one student in the restroom at a time. And so let me show you what that system looks like. So I'm going to pretend like I'm a student. This is my little hallway pass. It's just a piece of paper with a hole in it. We'll have several of these in the classroom so that kids are just using one and then that goes in the garbage. So they'll put their pass on the door, meaning somebody is in there, so you need to wait your turn. If you have to wait your turn, then there is an X right here, 6 feet apart. You'll stand here. When this kiddo that's in the bathroom comes out, they'll take their pass off the hook, throw it into the garbage, and then they'll proceed to wash their hands. So that pass, we know that everything's in the garbage. And then also we've decided to leave the outside door to the restroom propped open because every kid has their privacy in the restroom with individual stalls. Then we can ensure they're not touching a door handle. And we're just trying to minimize all the ways that high touch areas could be contaminated. We're going to just avoid all that. Also, you'll see our drinking fountains are going to be turned off. So this is just a reminder, a visual reminder that they will not be drinking out of the drinking fountains. However, we do have a refilling station, and I had encouraged you in my last newsletter to have kids bring a water bottle to school, preferably one that has a non-spill spout. We're going to have outside because we've also been thinking as a team about being outside as much as humanly possible. And we know that at Sandburg, we have a ton of green space around our whole entire building. One of our really important ones is our reading garden. So we're going to use it as a teaching space. Kids will be able to come outside for what we have been referring to as smile breaks, so that they can remove their mask, smile at their friends, and enjoy some fresh air. We also have this area right outside here. It's all shaded by the trees during the day. I know it's later in the day now, so the shade is moving towards the street, but normally it's pretty shady here. Then all the way around the building, we have identified 9 zones where kids can come outside. Teachers are going to do a sign up so that we can ensure that there isn't more than one group out there at a time. In the very back of the building, we are getting a tent purchased by the district. It's 20 by 40, and we can use that for, again, another learning space, just coming out and taking a quick stretch break. It's also going to be located in a place that's close to the car pickup, and that was purposefully because if it's raining, then the kids can stand underneath the awning and not get wet. Also, I mentioned to you in my newsletter yesterday that we're going to continue with the same pickup and drop-off zone, but I just want to give you a friendly reminder that kids exit from the passenger side and that we keep the line going, because this year we're going to have a lot more car riders than bus riders. So we just want to keep the line going so that we can get everybody in to school safely, so that we can get down to business and have some fun and get some learning. It's been a long time since the kids have been in school, and so we are looking so forward to having them all back. I know the teachers have some great things planned, and we just can't wait. We're counting down the minutes so that we can get all of our Sandburgers back. I appreciate you tuning in and learning about our procedures. And again, if you ever have any questions, please reach out. I'm always here for you. Have a great evening. Bye.
That was perfect.